I think I beat my chest at one point, puffed it out a bit. Dominance display behavior stuff. It's embarrassing. And, I started to think maybe Jonathan was onto something in terms of this podcast's early episodes being less about my art than I initially thought and more to do with how I've been justifying my approach to modern masculinity. And then I started thinking, what if it's not just the podcast? What if all my creative outlets have been implicated by this false equivalence between artistry and manhood? Because, underneath it all, I'm a writer. Everything else comes later. The audio-visual stuff is a way of dressing up the prose and the poetry for self-publication. And I'm pretty primal about my writing. The first drafts, anyway. So I'm thinking that may be where the conflation is coming from. I tend to follow Dennis Johnson's approach. Write naked, write in blood, write in exile. So for me, a first draft isn't so much a performance as it is an expedition. I disappear into the untamed parts of my psyche to hunt for wild things, ideas, notions, feelings, and then I drag those back to process, clean them up and package them, and then release them into the town square, i.e. YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, etc. So yeah, the AI tracks just felt like off-the-rack clothes that I was using to doll up the work for polite society, if that makes sense. It didn't feel like I was outsourcing part of my artistic journey because, as far as I was concerned, I had already gone on the journey as a writer. But then on the other hand, in using those tracks, I wasn't commissioning or honoring anyone else's journey, and that's probably what rubbed Jonathan and Rowan the wrong way. And ultimately, I'm glad they were rubbed the wrong way because the whole ordeal has exposed that somewhere along the line, I fused my artistic identity with my masculine identity so seamlessly that I somehow accepted the equation that good artist equals good man, which is obviously not the case. History has produced brilliant artists that are pieces of shit. And it's all worth looking into, especially if Jonathan's right and this has been a men's podcast the whole time.